Here we have a Honda ignition. Year, make, and model mostly irrelevant because they're very consistent with how they do their key biddings and their ignitions and doors. Using the HON-66 Lishi. This will still be doable if the ignition is in the car. It's much easier to do it with it in your hand like this. No awkward angles or whatever. But this is simply how to pick it. When picking a Honda lock, make sure your Lishi is inserted all the way. Wiggle it, make sure it can't go any deeper. Apply tension towards the dash. And then on Honda ignitions, we will always find A wafers on 1, 2, 3, and 4. B wafers always 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you'll see, the levers here, on the top lever, A is that way, B is that way. On the bottom lever, B is up, A is down. You can always check for your wafer positions by just seeing where it springs. So we'll see that B is up right there, A is also up right there. We also just got that wafer set. We are always going to start with the A's. So if we go through and we pick the A's real quick, A down with that lever, see if we can get that lever around there, A up, there we go, that one's set, A down with that one, then we'll go back through and double check them. Alright, A, and then that may have been hard to see, but there is a very small amount of movement that can be felt. So let it click back and do that one more time. A1, A2, A3, A4, go back to A1, A2, that little click right there. Once that is set over, that means that A side is set. We can start picking the B side. When it stops really low like that, it's probably either a 6 or a 5. And then B2, B3. I'm gonna let off tension a little bit so that I can get to click pass. Click, I just heard something set back down. Go back to B1, B2. And then I can feel it starting to turn. If you turn it just a little bit, you will actually be able to read the bidding right here. And it is most often more accurate than if you turn the lock all the way. Also, if you continue to pick it, it will stop before it is fully picked. You'll have to pick the A again, and then the lock will turn completely over and your Lishi will be facing the dash. That's easy to solve. You just take the Lishi out, flip it around, make sure it's picked all the way over, and then read it that way. But with this little bit of area that we're able to turn before anything resets, we're going to read it right here. We're going to go ahead and write down A side, B side, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll start with the A side. On A, that goes all the way down to 1, 1. We're going to say that's 5, 5. So 1, 1, 5, 5, and then nothing on the 5th position. Now we're going to go through the B series. 6. Looks like a 5. 3, 3, and then 5. So 6, 5, 3, 3, 5. So that should be our bidding for this lock. And as I said, if you continue to turn it, it'll stop, push down on it, it doesn't go any further. You can then go back through, and we're just going to pick the A wafers again. And then we get it to turn the rest of the way. But now your Lishi's facing the ignition, so you can just mind your levers, take that out, flip it around, and then now your Lishi is facing back towards you at a different angle, but that's much easier to read and get to. But we've already read it, so we're just going to go back, push in, click back, and then it stops again. To unpick it the rest of the way, flip our Lishi around, then we are going to re-pick the A wafers. Make sure that's set in there all the way. And since we already know what our A wafers is, it's easy not to overset them. Alright, now that we have it completely unpicked, we're going to take our Lishi out. And then we're going to put this bitting into either Instacode or the Ninja, and we will go over both of those. Whenever I go into Instacode for Hondas and Acuras, I do the same thing. I'll just do Honda, Civic, and then 2015. That will bring me to this page with all these options. I just select the first one, then we'll do find bidding, and as we see here, B is on the top, A is on the bottom. But the issue with this is the way we wrote it is that we have A on the top, B on the bottom. I do that for a particular reason. As we hold the key like this, we'll see that it shows on Instacode axis B on the top, axis A on the bottom. But even though it says B and A, the B and A do not correlate with what the Lishi tells us. It's the inverse. So we're going to put our A positions on the top, or where B is, B positions on the bottom, or where A is. So we'll do A 1155 and B 65335. 1155 65335, and then hit next. And we're given one code here, 0N673. On the Ninja, that 0 will not be part of the code, so it'll just be N673. Now on our Ninja, I already have this code series favorited, but you can just go under vehicles, do the same thing we did on Instacode. Honda, we'll just do a Civic, and then our code series H to N718, next. And then if we put in codes, we can punch in our N673, but instead we're going to punch the same bitting in directly. And then this is showing us the key we saw on the way on Instacode, with our B axis on the top, our A axis on the bottom, or as we read it with the Lishi, we're still just going to put A on the top, B on the bottom. So on the top of it, we had our 1155, skip 5 and 6, and then on the bottom we had our 65335. Then we're going to hit find codes. Wait for it, there we go. And then as we can see, we have the same code here, N673. We're going to hit next. Next. And then follow the instructions for placing it in the jaw. Fairly straightforward. Left side of the AC jaw, then third tip stop position, put it in, cut it, and then test it. We have our N673 cut key with our 65335 and our 1155, and I believe it auto-populated 5 there as well. As long as our ignition has been completely unpicked, we can put the key in rather easily, As we can see, it works just like it grew there. So this will come in handy if for some reason you cannot get a code off of the glove box lock or the trunk lock, or if the door lock and ignition lock are different from each other, like someone rekeyed the ignition or rekeyed the door or what have you. And obviously it will be more difficult if it is still installed in the vehicle with the odd angles and looking around the steering wheel and all of that, but hopefully this tutorial on how to pick it is helpful for those trying to get ignition key codes that cannot be gotten with the door, glove box lock, or what have you. Thank you.